Shalom, shalom, Israel. This is No Saint Left Behind once again. Just want to start off with saying all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahawashi, Bahashim Rikar Kwadash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. The elect are you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The 144,000, which is the leading body of the elect. Shalom. And shalom to you brothers that's out there in the highways and byways, man, that's been faithful to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi. Well, this is Billy Graham right here, and I'm going to get into this little study. It's Billy Graham telling you, who Yahawashi is. Well, he's going to say Jesus, but it's Yahawashi. He's going to tell you the color, the skin texture of Yahawashi. But then he's going to try to clean it up. But through the Spirit, he's been caught identifying who Yahawashi really is. He's going to let you know that he's not a leopard, red Hebrew Edomite. That he's a so-called black man. So we're going to get into this, and then we're just going to hit a couple of scriptures. I'm not going to make this long. Let's get into it.
Today, even if you refuse Christ, you'll never be the same. Once you've faced him, once you've heard the gospel and rejected it, you can never be the same. It says when the rich young ruler rejected Christ, he turned away grieved, emotionally disturbed. Because when you reject the claims of Christ, that's a very serious thing. All over the country, thousands of young people are talking about Christ. They can't escape him. There's a Broadway play right now entitled Godspell, a musical version of St. Matthew's Gospel. There's a new movie right now called Brother John, in which Sidney Poitier plays Jesus Christ in the form of an Alabama black man.
You see how he specifically, stuck on that Sidney Poitier playing Yahawashi, or who you call Jesus Christ today, and that he was a Mississippi black man. So he's telling you right here that Yahawashi, who you ignorantly call Jesus, is from the tribe of Judah, that the Judites are in America today. So he's telling you this. Just listen closely, man.
Plays Jesus Christ in the form in which Sidney Poitier plays Jesus Christ in the form of an Alabama black man. In which Sidney Poitier plays Jesus Christ in the form of an Alabama black man.
Yeah, Salaki, he said Alabama, not Mississippi. They're the same thing, just about. So he's telling you that Sidney Poitier played Yahawashi as a Alabama black man. So he's letting you know that the Jews in America, that the so-called blacks in America are the Jews, man. And that Yahawashi, who you ignorantly call Jesus, was a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. Just listen to this thing. This is Billy Graham, man.
In which Sidney Poitier plays Jesus Christ in the form of an Alabama black man. And don't you black people ever forget one thing. And don't you black people ever forget one thing. And don't you black people ever forget one thing. The man that helped Jesus carry that cross was a black man. The man that helped Jesus carry that cross was a black man.
We know that he was a so-called black man, the man that helped Yahawashi carry the cross. Because the people in that region at that time was what? So-called black people, man. Which was our ancestors. You had some Edomites, some red Hebrew Edomites there. So-called white men was there. That they wanted to be Jews. There was the Romans was there. But in the land of Israel, so-called blacks, which are you so-called Negroes.
And don't ever forget another thing. Jesus belongs to Africa.
See, you already said, talking about Jesus belongs to Africa. He's talking about Yahawashi. So he's letting you know that he belongs to you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. You so-called African Americans. He's letting you know who Yahawashi belonged to. Yahawashi said himself that he came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He never said he came for nobody else. He never said it.
as much as he does to Europe and Asia. He was...
See, you hear him trying to clean it up. You know, he threw Europe and Asia in there as well, but he's trying to clean it up now because most of his artists is Edomites. So he's trying to make him exclusive. He's trying to make him for everybody, but he know that he's only for the 12 tribes of Israel. He know this. But he's trying to make everybody feel good so he can get that money.
Born in that part of the world that touches Africa and Asia and Europe. And Jesus was not a white man like me. And
you hear that? He's letting you know, man. He's been saying this. He's dead and gone now. But the Spirit allowed us to catch this thing.
Jesus was not a white man like me. And Jesus was not a white man like me. Nor was he as black as some of you. We don't know what the color of his skin, but it must have been a dark color like the people of his day, because...
See, we know the color of his skin because the Bible tells us the color of his skin. So he's saying that he's not a leopard like him, but he's not as dark as we are. I mean, he's darker than a lot of us. Yahawashi was. And we're going to get into that. You know, I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. We're going to get into it. Let's get to these scriptures right quick. And then we're going to end this thing. And I'm going to show you that what the Bible says about the Most High are using these Edomites to make their tongue fall upon themselves. You know, they're going to tell the truth. You just got to be able to pick it through the Spirit, man. Let's go to Psalms 64 and 8. Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So they making their own tongues fall upon themselves by what? He just now revealed the truth. He just now told you that blonde hair and blue eye pictures of Jesus or Caesar Borgia is not the Messiah. He's not Yahawashi. Yahawashi is not no leopard, so-called white man, no red Hebrew Edomite. He's a so-called black man, or so-called dark brown. So his tongue just fell upon himself by letting you know that white picture that you got in your church of Jesus Christ is not the Messiah. You know? Because we know that the Messiah came from where? He came from out of the tribe of Judah. Matter of fact, let's go to Hebrews. Let's go to Hebrews right quick. 7 and 14. 7 and 14 says, for it is evident that our Lord Yahawashi spring out of Judah, of which Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. So it's evident that Yahawashi, who you ignorantly call Jesus, came from the tribe of Judah. Now let's see how the Judites look. Let's go to Jeremiah 14 and 2. Jeremiah 14 and 2 says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground. And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. So he said that the tribe of Judah is black unto the ground. So that's letting you know that there are different shades of brown. Because when you go to the ground and you look at the soil is black, but it's dark, it's brown, but the deeper you dig into the ground, the darker the soil and richer the soil gets. And so let's go, matter of fact, let's look up this word black. Let's go to the blue letter and see if the blue letter tell the truth about this word black, because this word black should be kadah. Let's go to let's go here. Let's look up this word black. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black. Let's see what this word black is.
Strong's H 6937. Kader.
Which is really Kadah, which was Ishmael had a son by the name of Kadah, which means he was dark. But let's see what this word means on here. It means to mourn, or see what it say, be dark, to be dark, to darken, to grow dark. So that lets you know that the tribe of Judah was the so-called black men, which are the so-called African Americans today in America. So that lets you know if the Messiah, Yahawashi, comes from descend out of the tribe of Judah from the loins of David, that he was a what? So-called black man, which he would have been a so-called African American today. So now let's go to Revelations. And let's see if it's all lining up with Revelations 1. And we'll start at Revelations 1 and 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the feet, and girded about the paths with a golden girdle. Verse 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool. So let's let you know that the hair on his head, the hair on his face, his eyebrows were white like wool. So the texture was woolly. Who got woolly texture hair? You so-called Negroes in America, the so-called blacks. You know, you so-called African Americans got woolly texture hair. And white from what? Which is a super gray or white. It comes from the stress. You know, at the age of 33, he was stressed from all of the healing he was doing, you know, people trying to kill him, the stress of not wanting to get on the cross, but he told the Father, let his will be done. So he was stressed. That's why his hair was super or white. It says as white as snow. So, I mean, you can look at young people today. I seen a little boy the other day. He was 8 years old. Half of his head was gray. All right, let's continue to read this. Verse 14. His head and his hairs was white as wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. That's because the Messiah drank wine. The white parts of his eyes was red. So everything is lining up. The Messiah, Yahawashi, who you ignorantly call Jesus, was a so-called black man. He wasn't a white man. That's white supremacy. Them giving you the picture of Caesar Borgia. And I want to do one more thing. Let's go to Google and let's type in black men with white woolly. Let me see. And see what comes up. Let's see what Google say this look like. Bam. You see that? White woolly hair. And this will come up. Sidney Poitier, who Billy Graham just spoke of, in this man. This how Yahawashi, this is like a depiction of how Yahawashi would have looked it. If not a little darker, but white woolly hair. That's what we just put in there. White woolly hair. This is a depiction of how Yahawashi would have looked at our Messiah. But he would have had a full beard. It wouldn't have been shaped up like that. All right? So that tells you and shows you how accurate the word of the Most High Yahawashi is, man. So that's just letting you know, man, you know, Psalm 64 and 68, man, that they words shall fall upon them, man. You know, so we know today that the Messiah, Yahawashi, is a so-called black man, from the tribe of Judah. And you think that he's an Edomite, a leopard white man, then, you know, death unto you. All right? Kwam Yashiela, man. Barakatah Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi. Shalom, Israel.